Hi Sam, I'm at HOC and it's just so strange to be here when you're not here. Later there's going to be some cross-life people here. It's like cross-life, HOC, home group, and then like this is the middle of the Venn diagram. Everyone's here. I'm having some grapes, tomato and regular grapes. Lenny's here. Say hi to Sam.
Hi Sam.
Let's look through the book together.
Diagnosed for HIV or like HPV, then you use oligos to basically bind to the viral DNA, and then it'll have a signal like a fluorescent signal that'll be detected by a machine.
You saw Irving and you thought it was the Kirby page?
Your oligos.
But we'll pause there. I want to see the Kirby page. We'll pause there.
Yeah, some of them do. Some of them are used to bind to the viral DNA, and then the torch, we call them torch oligos, will bind to that, open up, and then release the signal.
So what, a lot of PCR?
So much bias.
Their own version of PCR, which is isothermal, so they don't need to cycle.
Well, I assume only people take pictures.
They just use enzymes, different enzymes.
It's like
they have.
It's like a senior banquet. It's only a few people's pictures because only some of them have pictures. That's Shannon. That's Irving. Oh, I'm touching his butt.
And the enzymes don't need.
Look, even sunflowers are here. It's like you're here, Sam. That's Kirby's family.
Samantha, we miss you, and we're gonna see you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Just wait for us. Peace out.
You better
we love
make your jam, your homemade, everything that you've been learning.
Take me on a magical bike ride. Yes.
哪一届的校长是 Shannon。OK， 好。然后呢，我们还有4位英文老师 ，Justin。然后还有那个 Manny 在哪里 ？OK， 好。然后还有 Belinda。OK， 然后还有 Jimmy。OK， 好。那么接下来呢，我们总带队的是我们的蔡牧师。
It was a challenge.
蛮辛苦的。
But I think that God really used us.
但是神大大的使用我们。
Especially since we come from a Christian background.
因为我们都是基督徒。
And we have something in common. 我
们有一个共同点。
That we were able to work together and overcome this challenge.
我们就可以一起合作，然后就胜过这个难关。
I'm Shannon.
I'm Shannon.
I'm Kirby.
我是 Kirby.
For me, I think just this past mission trip, the recurring theme that I kept learning was just how to let go of my fear of judgment and just even my fear of being like possibly rejected when I would share the gospel and. 所以这次我去宣教的时候呢，我觉得我学到一个很重要的功课，就是胜过我害怕被人家拒绝的这种的惧怕。And I realized that whether we be out on the missions field or even just here at home, that we shouldn't waste our time learning about those things.
And God reminded me of 2 things.
神提醒我2件事。
First is that I am not called to be comfortable.
第一，他不是呼召我来很舒服的过日子。
Especially in the missions field.
特别去宣教不是为了舒适。
And second was that the way that I serve is not always the way that God wants me to serve.
They have a different language, they have different culture. The way that they dress is different, their transportation is different. So I had a hard time adjusting, kind of like Shannon. She said she was uncomfortable, but she was more physically uncomfortable. I was more emotionally. And actually, before I came on missions, I've been a Christian my entire life, but I never wanted to come on missions. I believe that God was calling me to serve, but not out in a different country, only here in Southern California in a safe place. So after feeling all these uncomfortable things and not knowing how I was going to be able to share the gospel with them, or not knowing how I would be able to even relate with them, I was feeling like I shouldn't have come on missions. But I think the thing that encouraged me the most on missions was having the devotional times with the other Christian CCBs. it made me realize that God is so much bigger than my home. God is so much bigger than the United States, that He's everywhere, and being able to worship with them was something very special. That even though we were very different people, we were worshiping the same God.
I know, and I remember for one of the years, I think it was the second year I was there, I stayed 2 months longer to take this art class, and I would take the bus every day for 2 hours and just stare at people while I was on the bus. Like, people watch, and I just remember feeling like I really wanted to be all of their friends. I would like look at the old grandma who's like walking down the street, and I would think, I want to be your friend. I want you to like teach me your recipes and stuff. And I don't know, but I think I really felt like a glimpse of God's heart of how much He like loved these people and His longing for them. So when I'm in China, I think I can see clearly like God's heart for the country. But each year, I think it's still kind of a struggle for me to go back each year, even though I've been. I think each year, when I'm there, God renews my love for missions and the conviction of the need for overseas missions. But throughout the year, when I come back, I can feel it slowly like watered down by my own comfort and apathy and just everything else that's going on in my life. Yeah, and I really think it's just about how I forget God's faithfulness in the past trips. But each year, God reminds me that His work in China is ongoing, whether or not I'm there. But if I go, which I can go, I get to experience that and I get to see His goodness.
But does that mean Jesus is not needed there? Is it just because some of the kids have a smartphone or some of the college students came from Shanghai, does it mean that they don't need Jesus? Yes, if not more.
而且他们其实我觉得他们更需要耶稣。
Because their hearts have been hardened.
因为他们的心说不定因为这个物质比较好，就变得比较硬。
So going back the 4th year and the 3rd year at the same location, I was able to, like Maywin said, see some part of the fruit from the seeds that we scattered. And there's a person, there's a being that loves you even. Really? I was like, really? There's a person.
我要说真的有一位比我还更爱你的。
I couldn't say it in Chinese, so I think I have to say like 东西 or like something. There's a person. And I was like, he's God.
他是神。
I said 上帝.
上帝。
Yeah, okay. So I basically said that. And I said, no matter what you do,
我就说不管你做什么，
He will always love you.
神会永远的爱你。
And I said, like, you might not understand why it's so important to me to share this to you. But I said, when you grow up,
但是有一天你长大，
please promise me to find out more.